Good evening, students. Today we are discussing about the extraction of the metals. So, extraction of the metals have contained some steps. There is major 4 steps, like this is we have ore. From ore, the first step is grinding or crushing. Grinding or crushing. From there, it will go to concentration. After crushing, it is a method of concentration. From there, the next method is isolation. Isolation. See, basically whatever the ore we have, we are obtaining from the earth, it contains lots of impurities like sulfides, like silicates, like chlorides. There is lots of other compounds out of our requirement. That too, whatever the ore we are getting, that is not in a piece, that is not in the small pieces, that will appear in a bulk quantity. So that bulk quantity ore should be grinded and form the tiny particulates. Okay, whatever the requirement particulates, that is called grinding or crushing method. Okay, then this tiny particulates will be concentrated by different methods. That may be gravitational method, that may be magnetic separation method, that may be a frothing method. There is so many methods. Okay, after that, the isolation method, whatever the pure metal you get, whatever the metal, it's not pure, it has still, there is some impurities, that is called as isolation method. That after isolation, what you will get, that is refined. Refined extraction. From this you will get pure metal. From this you will get pure metal. These are the basic 4 steps are important. Here one is grinding, concentrate and isolation and refined or extraction. In this, whatever the impurities what we have discussed is called as gangue. That is called as gangue or matrix. Important one. Impurities are called in metallurgy, impurities are called as gangue or matrix. Okay. Now, for grinding ore, what I told you initially, grinding, whatever the ore we are obtaining from the earth is in bulk quantity, we need to make it required quantity. For that, we need to make a grind, make it a pieces. Okay. Later, it is going to make a concentration or dressing. In this, there is several methods are appearing, like that is hydraulic method, hydraulic separation method, that is called as gravitation method, and there is a magnetic separation method, there is a flotation method. Now we are going to discuss about the gravitation method. That is the first one. Gravitational method. The main principle in this gravitational method is, see, the metal, whatever you have grinded the metal, you have got the ore and you have grinded the ore and you have got the pieces of the ore. In this, the impurities have different weight apart from the metal. So pure metal have different weight, impurities have different weight, because every metal has its gravity, its density. Every metal has different density. For example, iron has a different density, magnesium has a different density, and copper has a different density. Similarly, every metal has its different density. So as per the density principle, what we will do actually, we will arrange I'm just going to draw that picture. we will arrange one belt type system. like. So what they will do, they will pour the material with the water or liquid. Pour this material with the liquid. Hence, the material will fall like that. And whatever the highly dense or highly weighed material will fall at here. Highly dense material will fall at here. And remaining or pure material will fall in the collection. Will fall in a collection. Still there is some impurities. This is called what? Gong. This is called as gong. Still there is some gong is available. But in this method, gravitational force method, you will not get 100% purity. This is a physical method. You will get the bulk molecules will be separated from the small particles. That's all. But still it has some of the gong. In this, actually, we separate the heavy particles like heavy metals, like heavy dense particles. Okay. Second one is magnetic separation method. Magnetic separation method. In this, we are having two rollers. We are going to install two rollers and one belt. These two rollers and one belt like this. In this, one roller is a magnetic roller, one is a normal one. Okay. If you are going to pour your material from this here, so this material will pass like this, and if it is non-magnetic material, it will goes like that. If it is a magnetic material, it will comes like that. So magnetic material getting separated at here, and non-magnetic material will goes separation, and here you will get some purified metal, but this is also not a 100% purified metal. In this, actually, you can separate like iron complex metals like iron tungsten, iron sulfates, like that you are going to separate in this method. But the bulk quantity, while you are taking the bulk quantity of the ore, this method also will not act 100% purely. In this method also, you will get some of the impurities and the gang. In this also, you will get some gong, Gangue, gong or matrix. So this method is okay, means they are using this method, but this method is also not 100% successful method. Later they have initiated that floating method. In this froth floating method, they have taken one bowl, you can say jar, and this is one small partition. This small partition. What they did, actually, emulsifier mixture like oil and water. They are inserting oil and water mixed here, and they have arranged one air line. Okay, here it is a what is this? Water, H2O plus oil mix. This is a H2O and oil mix. While you are passing air from this, this makes a froth. while you are mixing with water the pine oil. Pine oil is the one of the best oil to make good froth, and this no froth is has a character to have sticky character. This froth has a character while you are mixing with a water with oil na, that is called as emulsifying mixture. That mixture is always have a character of sticky character. If you are using pine oil, that pine oil is always having a sticky character. So that is the reason pine oil is the one of the good best oil. So it will make froth. It will make froth and transfer from one location to other location. In this, the heavy metals means the heavy density metals will set right in the ground. This is called as gong. Okay, and the light and the ore metal, light means whatever the metal extraction metal, will come at here and settle at here. This is pure gold, pure metal. So in this actually, this is somehow purified method rather than last two, means rather than the gravitational method and the magnetic separation. It has some purity, but in this method also the gong or whatever the impurities may pass, there is a chances may pass through this froth and fall in the other area. So still it is not 100% purified. Now what is the purified method above all these things? Above all these things, the purified method is chemical reaction method. This is the only one method where you can get the purified metal, and that metal is useful for any work. So that is the reason for chemistry is that much important in the metallurgical industry also. So without chemistry, metallurgy industry will not run. Okay. Now chemical separation method. In this chemical separation method, I have taken one example for bauxite. That is aluminum oxide. But while we are getting in the nature, this aluminum oxide will always be with hydrocarbon, means so they have some hydrous. So there is always a water molecule existing with the aluminum compound. Okay. Now there is two methods. One is laboratory method, second one is physical method, that is a cost effective method. So in laboratory actually, what is the purpose of laboratory method and what is the difference between laboratory method and cost effective method? In cost effective method, purity is somehow 90-85 method, means it is not 100% purity. But laboratory method, it is 100% pure metal you will get. But in the basically in metallurgical industries actually what they want is that is 90% purity with cost effectivity, because cost is also 100% is cost, they have to save some cost also, so that is also very important actually. So while we are taking the bauxite, while it is going to react, while it is the reaction with the sodium hydroxide with some heat, you will get sodium aluminate, that is called sodium meta-aluminate. Sodium meta-aluminate and some water molecule. Okay, this sodium meta-aluminate will react with this sodium meta-aluminate will react with water molecule. This is hot water. Okay, this is hot water, sodium aluminate, and the reaction is aluminum hydroxide and sodium hydroxide. Okay, after this aluminum hydroxide, while we are making a heat, aluminum oxide Al2O3 plus water molecule will come out. Okay, 3 water molecule balancing actually. So see, in laboratory method it is very lengthy process first of all, and moreover It is a time taken process and a costly method. It is a costly process. Whereas in physical laboratory method, simple one, to eliminate moisture from any metal, the simple method is roast it or heat it below their boiling point. This is the best method where you get the pure metal. But there is some drawbacks. We will discuss about this. Al2O3 2H2O. If you are going to make it heat in physical laboratory, simple Al2O3 will come plus water molecule will go. This is a vapor method. It will go in the water vapor. But here, whatever the aluminum oxide forms, it is very anhydrous and very reactive. So that is the reason you cannot make it exposed to the heat, make it a natural air. So you should make this compound in a closed surface only, and transfer this compound in a closed surface only, so that it will work for the good metals. Okay, it will give us a good yield. If you make any type of exposure, it will goes reacting with the moisture and something else, and the yield of the metal will goes down, purity will goes down. Similarly, calcium carbonate, while you are heating calcium oxide and carbon dioxide, CO2. So this is calcium oxide which is used for the cement manufacturing. Calcium oxide will use for the cement manufacturing. This reaction also, it should be in the closed surface. It should be in the closed boxes, so that the reaction will be very effective and good cement will come out. If you are going to make it exposing, cement quality will get down. That is the reason we have to make a specific heat. Is also always this roasting or heating process will always take in a closed areas. It should not be in open areas. Okay. So the difference between one more method, that is called as roasting method. Roasting. See, roasting is something like open area reaction. This is open area reaction, and always it is used to eliminate the impurities as their oxides. So in this, actually, if you have any iron sulfide like thing, if you are heating like compounds, if you have sulfide, rhombic sulfur, which is a naturally available with oxygen, and always forms 8SO2. It is a gas heat. It is roasting. Roasting is always it is just common process in our kitchens. So roasting of potato, roasting of the lady finger. Roasting is a common. So roasting is a open air reaction which makes a open air reaction which makes with direct contact with the oxygen. Whereas calcination is the process. This is called calcination. Calcination is a process which takes place in closed compound, closed surface, closed boxes. That is the major difference between calcination and roasting. Please understand this point. The difference between calcination and roasting is it takes in a closed surface, and if any leakages or any exposure to the outer atmosphere will always decrease the quality of the metal. In this roasting, it is in the open air reaction, and it always used to eliminate the impurities like sulfides and phosphorus like things. Okay, so the difference between calcination and roasting is that. That's all for this day today for the students. Tomorrow we are going to study about the chemical reactions of the compounds.